My name is Jessica. Standing in the parlor of my childhood home, I feel the weight of years of unspoken tension. Across from me, my family sits like a jury, their expressions a mix of anger and disbelief. My daughter, Lily, stands tall beside me, her art portfolio open on the coffee table, a silent testament to the pain she's endured. 13 years ago, I adopted Lily when she was just 4. She was a shy, withdrawn child, with big eyes that held a world of sadness. My parents, Helen and Richard, were less than thrilled about my decision. Helen, a traditional and somewhat cold woman, questioned my ability to raise a child on my own. Single motherhood is a challenge, Jessica. Are you sure you can handle this? She asked, her voice laced with doubt. Richard, a man of few words, simply stood by, his expression stoic. 3 years after the adoption, I met Daniel at a charity event. He was immediately drawn to Lily, asking her about her favorite books and showing a genuine interest in her as a person. When we got married, Lily was our flower girl. But even then, I could sense the distance from my family. Their smiles were forced, and they stood slightly apart from us in the wedding photos. I told myself they just needed time to adjust. Then came the invitation to my cousin Amelia's wedding. The gold-embossed card seemed to mock me as I read the words, adults only, 18 plus, strictly enforced, no exceptions. Lily had spent hours making a handmade card for Amelia, pouring her heart and soul into every sequin and letter. When she came home from school and saw the invitation, the hope in her eyes faded into understanding. It's probably for the best, she said, trying to sound brave. That night, I started to dig through the attic, uncovering a box filled with years of Christmas cards, photos, and notes. It was a painful journey through a history of exclusion. Christmas gifts were addressed only to Daniel and me, with no mention of Lily. Family photos showed her standing on the edge, almost out of the frame. And then there was the trust paperwork from my grandfather's estate, clearly stating that adopted children were excluded from inheritance. I couldn't ignore it anymore. I decided to decline the wedding invitation and started to compile evidence of the years of subtle rejection. I wrote an email listing facts, dates, and events, presenting the truth in black and white. When I sent it, the family was divided. Some, like my Aunt Grace, who had also adopted a child years ago, supported me. But others, like Amelia and my sister Bianca, were furious. Bianca showed up at my office, trying to convince me to back down. You're ruining the family over this, she said, her voice dripping with anger. But I stood my ground, showing her the evidence of Lily's exclusion. This isn't about me, I told her. It's about Lily, and she deserves better. At the family gathering, the tension was palpable. My parents, Amelia, and Bianca sat across from us, ready to defend their actions. But Lily was not going to be silenced. She stood up, unzipped her portfolio, and began to show them her art. Each painting told a story of isolation and exclusion, capturing the moments when she felt left out. My family was shocked. They had never seen Lily as an artist, as a person with feelings and talents. This is what you've done, I said, my voice steady. You've ignored her, excluded her, and made her feel like she doesn't belong. Aunt Grace stood up and joined us. I made the same choice years ago, she said. I chose my adopted son over my family's traditions, and it was the best decision I ever made. You need to decide if you want to have Lily and Jessica in your lives. In the end, the choice was clear. Lily had been offered a full scholarship to a prestigious art school, and it was time for her to pursue her dreams. My family's silence and rejection no longer defined us. We had chosen each other, and that was all that mattered. As we left the parlor that day, I felt a sense of liberation. We were no longer bound by the expectations and traditions of a family that didn't accept us. We were building our own family, one based on love, acceptance, and support. Now, as I watch Lily walk across the stage at her high school graduation, her face beaming with pride, I know that we've come a long way. The empty seats in the audience where my parents and some of my relatives should be are a reminder of the past, but they no longer hold power over us. Lily adjusts the microphone and begins to speak. When people ask me about family, I tell them about seeds. Some seeds are planted in soil we don't choose, but the most beautiful gardens grow from the seeds we plant ourselves. Her words echo through the auditorium, and I feel a lump in my throat. After the ceremony, we gather at our favorite restaurant to celebrate. Aunt Grace is there, along with some of our friends and neighbors who have always supported us. Amelia arrives later, bringing a gift for Lily. "I'm sorry," she says, her voice soft. "I didn't realize how much I've hurt you." Lily smiles and accepts the gift. "Thank you," she says. It's a small step towards healing, but it's a step in the right direction. As we sit around the table, sharing stories and laughter, I look at Lily and Daniel. This is our family, the one we've chosen. And I know that no matter what the future holds, we'll face it together, stronger than ever. My name is Jessica, and I've learned that family isn't defined by blood. It's defined by love, acceptance, and the choices we make to support each other.